Hey everyone, thank you for joining us. Today we're talking about a really unique card game from Shoot Again Games called Pinball Showdown. This one's for 2 to 4 players, so let's get down to the play field and do our best not to tilt. Hey you guys, my name is David.
And I'm Kathy.
And we are Board Together Games, and our channel, if you are new here, is dedicated to bringing quality board game content to people that are new to the board gaming hobby and families. And we thank you for joining us. And today we are looking at a wonderful game from Shoot Again Games called Pinball Showdown. It is designed by Diane Sauer. It's for 2 to 4 players, plays in about 30 to 45 minutes, and is for ages 12 and up. Pinball Showdown is a game that pits you against your opponents as the actual pinballs in a pinball machine that has triggered multi-ball. So if you're not familiar with pinball, what will happen in many of these machines is that you will move the ball to a certain location where it will trigger an event called multi-ball, in which anywhere from 3 to 5 balls are thrown out into the play area, the play field, and you do your best to try to keep all of those moving at the same time, triggering different playfield objects, scoring points, multipliers, bonuses, things like that. So that's what this game is designed around, that whole concept. And that's pretty clever.
It is.
If you ask me. This is a game that Kathy and I both kind of saw a little bit about before we went to the Origins Game Fair a couple of months ago. And we were both very excited to see what this thing was all about. And we took full advantage of the fact that Diane was at the show showing off the game. Kathy purchased a copy. This is it. And we're going to tell you as much as we can in as little amount of time as possible in this video. So let's show everybody how to set it up.
Sounds good. To set up Pinball Showdown, you first take the control tokens, which there are 20 for each player, and you turn all but 5 of them face down, and you leave 5 face up. And that will represent your starting speed as the ball when you begin the game.
Yes.
Then you take the deck of playfield cards and you shuffle them and you give them each player 10 cards, and that represents your play for the whole game. You will play over 10 rounds, and so you'll be playing 1 card each round.
Yeah, it's kind of the game timer, basically.
Exactly. And then you are going to shuffle the combo deck, and you're going to place out as many combo cards as there are players in the game, and that will be representing the combos that you have available during the game.
Yeah, the rest are out.
The rest are out for the game. And then you will turn wizard mode off for the time being. And you will decide a first player, and that will be the setup.
So as Kathy mentioned, Pinball Showdown is played in a series of 10 rounds. And each round, very similar things are going to happen. The first thing that you're going to do is each player is going to look at their hand of playfield cards, and they're going to choose one of those to play for that round. And the card that you play is not necessarily going to be the card that you get that round. Right. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to be collecting these cards, and that's how you're going to score points at the end of the game. So you're going to take your card, each player takes their card, selects it, places it face down. And then there's one card that's going to come off the top of the deck, off of the playfield deck, and it's going to sit out here for everybody to see. The rest of the cards then get shuffled and placed face up next to this card. So nobody really knows exactly who put what cards into the mix.
Right.
You know which one you put out there, but that's it. And then you have a round starting with the first player of what they call using your control tokens. And you can do a few different things. You can either bid on a card. You take any of your control tokens that are not currently being used for your speed and place them on a card. And you're bidding that you want to win that card and take it for yourself, right? That is one thing that you can do. However, you can be outbid. If you get outbid, that's it. You don't get any do-overs. That's it. So you have to kind of weigh the pros and cons, because this is a limited amount of control tokens. Once you're out of these, you're out of the game, basically.
And if you get overbid, then you get to take those control tokens back into your
Correct.
pile.
Yes, thank you. The second thing that you can do with your control tokens is you can spend them to increase your speed. And how that works is for every control token that you decide to remove from the game, you can then take another one of your control tokens that are face down and turn it face up to increase your speed by 1. So if I spent another one out of the game, I could turn another one face up to increase my speed. But again, these are limited. Once they are gone, they're gone. The third thing that you can do with your control tokens is you can purchase any card that is in the discard pile. You obviously can't do this on the first round because there are no cards in the discard pile of playfield cards.
Right.
That's going to cost you 2 control tokens that, again, are face down. You're spending them out of the game. You can pick any one. Even if there's 6 of them sitting there, you pick up the whole discard pile, look through them, take the one that you want. And that's the third thing that you can do.
Right.
Once every player has had a chance to use control tokens on their turn, then a couple things are going to happen. Each player who has successfully bid on a playfield card takes it and brings it over to their score pile. And then starting with the first player, any player who has not taken a playfield card now gets a chance at whatever's left, face up, right, for that round. Choose a card, put it into your score pile, and then if you have successfully met the requirements of these any of these combo cards, which each of them have 2 playfield requirements, right, on them. So in the example here, if I have acquired on previous rounds or this round a short ramp and a medium ramp, I can take this combo card, bring it over to my score area as well. So those are the 2 things that you can do. And again, that's done in player order. Anytime a player takes one of the playfield cards into their score pile, there is another interesting thing that has to happen. Each card will have speed requirements and speed changes that are going to happen as a result of those playfield devices. And you can think of it thematically as though the ball has ricocheted off of this particular device. That's either going to speed up your travel, your speed, or slow you down, or it's going to set you at a certain speed. And that is reflected in the game, which is very cool.
Right.
The cards will either have red minus signs on the left-hand side that will decrease your speed by however many icons are there. Green plus symbols and circles around them that will increase your speed by however many icons are there. And then blue equal signs, which mean basically no matter what your current speed is, you're going to set it to however many icons are shown. So if there are 6 of them there, you set your speed to 6.
Whether you are at 3 or 9, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, right. So you have to set your speed every time you take a card. That your speed has to change if possible. There's something interesting that will happen if your speed ever goes to 0, and that's called draining. If you ever drain, and it is in rounds 1 through 5, you basically reset. You take control tokens that are face down in your pile, turn 5 of them back face up, and it's kind of like they call it autosave, which is pretty cool.
Right.
So that happens if you drain in rounds 1 through 5. If it happens in rounds 6 through 10, the game ends for everybody, not just that player. The game is over.
Yes.
So that's a very interesting thing that you have to kind of keep your eye on, not just for yourself, but with other players.
Right.
Somebody might try to end the game early if they feel like they're ahead, and they don't want anybody to score any other big points or combos or something like that.
Good
so
point.
there is that. The other thing that will happen is if anybody takes one of these combo cards on a given round, that triggers wizard mode. And then you take this card and you turn it over, and it shows that wizard mode is on. Anytime wizard mode is on, any playfield device cards that are taken now go into your X2 scoring pile, or double points. There are some other interesting cards in here. A lot of them are just points when you take them for the end of the game. Some of them are set collection. So the more of that type of card you have, the more points you get for those, right? So once every player has taken any cards that are available to them or that they have won by bidding in that round, they've adjusted their speed, determined whether or not they have drained, and put the cards in their scoring piles. The first player marker passes to the left and a new round starts.
As we mentioned before, the game is ended in 2 ways. Either by draining the energy of one player down to 0 after the 5th round,
right,
or by the end of the 10th round when all the cards have been played. Then each player tallies up their scores. You tally up all the points in your score pile. You tally double the points in your 2x pile. You get 100 points for every control token that you still have left in the game. If there's a tie, the player with the most control tokens left in their possession is the winner. And if there's still a tie, then they share the victory. And that's how you play Pinball Showdown.
All right, so I'm a pinball nerd from way back. Now, I used to play, oddly enough, in convenience stores. There was a time, not that long ago, when convenience stores typically would have a pinball machine sitting in there. And, of course, the arcades and things like that. So me and my buddies, we dumped a ton of quarters into these machines, and we had a blast. So this definitely brings back a lot of that for me.
Nostalgia.
I believe, and as far as the theme goes and the feel that this game gives you, I think it's a big success.
Yes.
Diane restores antique pinball machines, so this is definitely something that has meant a lot to her, and so I think she's done a great job with this. The artwork in this is amazing.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I love it. It's got a real 70s feel.
Yes.
It's really, really cool.
Yeah, and we may even be off base a little bit by saying artwork because there's a lot of graphic design, but the imagery is all photography.
That's true.
These are
That's true.
photographs of actual devices, playfield devices from pinball machines. So it's obvious to me how much thought has gone into the mechanisms in this game as well to really bring that feel of you are the pinball into this game. And I think, again, big success.
Definitely.
Right?
Yes.
After playing this game quite a bit now, I feel like maybe the game threw me for a loop in that I thought it was just going to be pretty straightforward. And on the surface, it is pretty straightforward. But there is a lot of underlying strategy that goes into this game that you just don't pick up on in your first few plays. And how everything is just tied thematically to pinball.
Yes, that's probably my favorite thing about it is that you really do get the feeling that you're a pinball.
Yeah.
You feel like you are moving and
I'm going too fast.
Yeah, right. You have too much energy. I can't do anything. I'm chaotic right now, and I can't do anything. Or I'm not going fast enough to hit the bumper that I want to hit.
Yes. There's a fine balance here. Very fine balance. So you're balancing your own speed and keeping that under control. Right. You're watching everybody else's speed and what they're doing because it can happen to where somebody runs away with this game if you're not watching what other people do.
That's very true.
Right. So the component quality in the game to me is good. I don't know if I would call it great, but it's good. The artwork and the design, I feel, really make up for that. Love this first player token. You were just going to say that, weren't you? Yeah.
Yes.
This first player token is great. It just looks like a huge bumper.
It's a bumper, yeah.
I really do believe that after quite a few plays of this now, that it's starting to get a little bit samey. You know? Feels like the same thing every time. But it's not that it's a bad experience. I love the experience. But there's not a whole lot. There's some variety in the combo cards, which is good.
Yes.
I really like that.
Yes.
And I'm kind of hoping that there will be more to come in the future for this game.
I hope so too.
Even if it's just a couple mini expansions, just a few more
just
cards.
To add some more cards.
Yes. Some different things, just more of the same stuff to add to the game.
Right.
To just give it a little more replayability.
Right.
I think would be great. I had a little bit of difficulty with the rule book. We actually went back and had to clarify a couple things with Diane because we played this the night we picked it up at Origins.
We did.
Went back to the hotel and we played it there. And we had a couple of things that we weren't clear on. And so we went and asked Diane and she clarified things. And the game makes complete sense when you get your head wrapped around how everything functions and works together. It's fantastic. And again, it's time for the part of the show that makes no difference to anybody. And that's our ratings. Because, again, ratings don't mean anything. They're just our opinions.
Exactly.
We always hope that what you're hearing us talk about and the things that you see in our videos are the things that will help you make your mind up as to whether this is a game for you or not.
Right.
Having said that, I give this game an 8 out of 10. And it is because I love the theme. I love the design and the imagery in this game. I love how it all works together. I love the attention to detail in the terminology and the things that you actually experience. I don't think she could have done any better to make this feel like pinball.
I am also going to give this an 8. I went back and forth a little bit about what I was going to rate it, and for the same reasons that you gave, and the theme and the attention to detail and the artwork, I couldn't give it anything less than an 8 because I really feel like she spent a lot of time and a lot of effort to make this game as good as it is.
And as far as family friendliness, I'm going to give this an 8 as well. So 8s across the board. And really the big reason for that is this is a tough game to kind of get your head around. For me, like I said, I feel like I'm still kind of learning how to really balance all of the things that are going on in this game.
And how to get the ultimate strategy.
Which makes sense. It's a pinball multi-ball, right? it's chaotic.
Right.
It's controlled chaos. You want it to be controlled chaos. And that's going to be tough for younger kids to wrap their heads around.
Right.
So older kids for sure. Definitely. But I think 12 and up is accurate on this game.
Yep.
So younger than 12, they're going to have some issues. Not with the gameplay, but finding that balance. They're not going to remember, oh, I can't take that card because I'm not going fast enough right now.
Right.
Or if I take that card, I'm going to drain. I wasn't paying attention to that.
Right.
Those little idiosyncrasies, I think there's just going to be a lot of trouble there. So for family friendliness, we give this an 8 out of 10. That wraps it up, everybody, for Pinball Showdown. A very cool, very unique game that we do recommend. If the situation is right, if you got older kids, we think this is a winner. So thank you so much for watching. And if you like what you saw here, I'm going to leave a link in the description for some place that you can go pick this game up for yourself and check it out. So definitely do that. And I'm also going to leave links in the description for all the places you can contact us. Twitter, Facebook, website, all those things. Also going to leave a link for Gamer Threads. We love Gamer Threads. Got to go check out their shirts. They're amazing. Gamer-related t-shirts, great prices. Very cool designs, very clever. You're going to like them. That also supports us here at Board Together Games. Right. So if you want to find a way to support us, that's a great way to do it. And if you like what you see here, please like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're making a big push right now to grow this channel. We definitely love doing this, but we want to see that support come in. Positive comments, negative comments, let us know how we're doing. That's how we know, and that's how we get better, right? So remember, everybody, if you're bored together,
board together.
Thanks again for watching, and we will see you next time. Do you know how to post videos on Facebook?
The more you know.
So let's do this. Ding. The more you roll. Once every player has hit... You should sue me for everything that I have, which is nothing. Shut up, Wesley.